Room by room, I'm making over this house into my forever home. Last episode, I transformed my kitchen. Next up is the primary bedroom. This room was just a giant blank builder-grade space, so I knew I had to give it some personality, make it cozier, and a place that I wanted to spend time in. I began by painting the walls a soft, creamy color. Because the room is so big, I didn't want to choose a bold color that would have overpowered the room, and white is just too stark for me. I wanted something dramatic behind the bed, and I drew out an idea that I had, and then traced where the bed and the nightstands would be. This would help me to align everything. I measured the walls and marked out 6-inch cuts on the MDF. I don't have a table saw, so my Kreg jig is one of my favorite tools. I put up the first board using a laser level and added adhesive and screwed the boards into place. I then added the bottom board and then pieced together the ends of the top and the bottom. Next, I added my 3-inch vertical MDF boards, making sure the spacing between each board was 12 inches. I countersunk and spackled all the holes. I then added quarter round just to finish the top. Once that was on, I cut the boards for the angled ceiling and put them into place using the same method as I used before. While everything dried on the wall, I painted the doors and the trim. Now to paint my feature wall. I chose a dark, rich green. The creamy paint I chose for the other walls really will make this wall pop. Man, don't you wish you could paint this fast in real life? I've always wanted a window seat, and the nook in this room is perfect. But first, before I began that build, I needed to clear the space of this outdated chandelier. Not only do I not like the look of it, but it's also blocking my view of the window. With all my years of DIY, I am confident in tackling a lighting swap. I just unscrewed the base, snipped the wires, and swapped out a new, more modern fixture. But this isn't a DIY job for everyone. Sometimes you want a professional to handle it for you. That's where Thumbtack comes in. You just open the app, type in what you need, like searching electrician, and it shows you a bunch of local pros. You can see their prices up front, read reviews, and compare. You could pick somebody with great ratings who has a ton of experience. Thumbtack connects you to over 300,000 local pros, from electricians to painters, lawn care, even remodelers. So yeah, if you need anything done around the house, this is where you start. Whether it's a quick fix or a full refresh, save time and get it done right with Thumbtack. Now that that's taken care of, onto the window seat. I removed the baseboards so it would be flush against the wall. I made the frames using 2x4s and used my Kreg pocket hole jig, screwed the frame together. I attached the frame to the wall and built up the seat so it would be flush with the windowsill. I then covered the front with beadboard and cut MDF for the tops. I wanted the middle lower than the sides, so those were also trimmed out with beadboard. Then the entire seat was trimmed by quarter round and caulked. Now for the paint. I used the same color as the feature wall to paint the window seat. Next, the large half-round windows needed something. They had blown their seal and it was too costly to replace them. Window film was my answer. After measuring the windows, I cut out a template and used that to cut the film to the approximate size of the window. I smoothed it on using wallpaper smoother to get all the air bubbles out and then cut it to fit in the window exactly. This project was very labor intensive, but 100% worth it. I wanted more room on my bedside table, so I added sconces to each side of the bed on the wall. Now the fun part, decorating. Adding beautiful pictures, plush cushions, and treasured items that I found and mementos that have been given to me make this room very special now. So, do you remember my boring white box of a bedroom? I added curtains to the windows, blankets and pillows to cozy up the space even more. Yeah, I love this room now. I love the rich green color of the accent wall. And the window seat of my dreams? I have a pile of books to be read in there. So now you've seen my kitchen makeover and my bedroom. Next, we're tackling the entryway, and wait till you see what I do by the front door. Room by room, this house is starting to look like my forever home. A huge thanks to Hometalk for sponsoring this video. Hi, I'm Alicia. I'm a DIY enthusiast who's tackled everything from crafting to curb appeal across 11 homes. This one's forever. Follow along as I transform my house into my forever home, sharing my best DIY tips and tricks along the way to help you create yours too. So let's get started. On the last episode of Forever Home,